Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Now today's video is going to be all about how to grow on Instagram. If you're not already following me on Instagram, please make sure you're doing that. It's just at Danny De Freitas. Here's the link. Go and check it out. I post daily, I post twice a day at the moment, so I post like an outfit of the day photo or something more lifestyle, and then also a video, which is usually something beauty related because I'm beauty obsessed. So if you want to know the top tips to grow on Instagram, keep on watching. Alright guys, so we're going to go straight into it. I've been writing down some notes on my phone and basically just wanted to share with you 5 top tips on how to grow on Instagram and maybe a few things that I've learned along the couple of years. I'm still really small and just starting off, so hopefully these things that kind of help me out will help you guys out as well. So tip number 1, be consistent. So I think being consistent is one of the most important things with anything. I know this might sound like you probably hear this all the time and everyone always says this, but when you're starting off, you're probably going to be posting and you might not be growing so much and what is the point of this? But you have to be super consistent. I literally say the best thing to do is maybe try posting like at least once a day. I sometimes see a lot of people who want to grow or they're messaging me, and then when I look at their profile, they haven't posted for like 5 weeks. How are you going to grow if you're not posting at all? You need to make sure that you've got content going on and on all the time. So you need to be on top of it. So you need to be making sure that you're always creating content. It is quite hard work, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm always like trying to get as much photos done as possible, as much videos. Posting a video every single day is not easy, but it's something that I absolutely love doing and it's kind of what I do. So being consistent is so important. Another thing that I would say on that is, let's say you've got 5 pieces of content, don't post them all on the same day, maybe spread them out a little bit, make it really fun and engaging. But consistency, guys, I cannot stress, is the key. If you keep on being consistent, then eventually the hard work will pay off and you guys will see that it will slowly start happening, it will slowly start coming, and then you're like, okay. But it does take a lot of time. I would say that the first like 10k was like the hardest ever, and then after that it slowly starts growing. It's kind of like a snowball effect. So yeah, you just have to hang in there. Tip number 2, create a theme. So I would personally advise to look at your grid and create a theme. So if your theme is like kind of bluish tones and it's all like beachy photos, then you want to keep consistent with that, okay? You want to maintain that theme. If your theme is all about food, then stick with that. So you might be doing fashion, lifestyle, fitness, food, beauty, whatever it is, I would say stick to it. Now, most of us do have more than one hobby or like thing that we like to post, but I think it's really important that people will kind of like go to your page for one specific thing. So if I was to start posting like photos of cars, I think my followers would be like, we follow you because we want to see beauty, skincare and facials and stuff like that. So it might be better to maybe create a separate Instagram if you want to like mix things up. I also would say that if you want to post your personal things, it might be a good idea to keep your personal stuff somewhere else and then really think of your profile as a little bit more of a theme. So whatever your theme is, it can be anything. It doesn't have to be beauty related. Just make sure that you are consistent with that thing. Tip number 3. So tip number 3 kind of ties in with tip number 1, which was consistency. And basically tip number 3 is post daily. I think it's so important to kind of keep engaged with your audience and don't just post and just leave it there. Like Instagram is a community, so you want to be on there. You want to be looking at other people's stuff, commenting on their posts. If people are commenting on your posts, like reply, say something genuine, say something nice. It really does count for a lot when you're kind of engaging. And remember that these are not just robots. These are real people out there who are following you and kind of building this relationship. And that's what social media is all about. It's about being engaging. So I think posting daily is something that's really kind of motivating, and no matter what, you cannot have any excuses. So you need to be super organized and make sure that you've got something to post at least once a day. On the flip side, I would also say try not to post too much on a day. I think that sometimes if you overpost on the day, people can unfollow you because it kind of looks a bit spammy or it's like too much on the feed. Now with Instagram's latest algorithms, I know that things are always changing and it's no longer in chronological order. So you still don't want to come across spammy, so just be wary of that. Alright, tip number 4. So tip number 4 is going to be quality of content. Now, I am always trying to make sure that the quality of my content is always growing and growing and growing. When I first started out, I didn't have any equipment or any lights or anything like this. I literally just had my iPhone, and it wasn't even the latest iPhone, it was some old crusty one. So I was literally trying to make the most out of just a light, and the lighting at work was really good, so I tend to film more at work. And then I was always looking for a white wall, so usually I was in my boyfriend's house using his white walls. When you're starting off, don't stress out too much. Don't be going out and buying the most expensive camera or equipment, because you really don't need that. What you really need to focus on is making the most out of what you have. So if you've got a small space but you've got an iPhone and maybe you have one ring light, that's kind of all you need, and you can just start and get a feel for it. And then as you start growing, and you're going to be wanting to add different things into your setup, and I think what's really important is that you don't just become complacent with that. So personally, I've just bought a brand new camera which is on its way. I'm so excited, guys, and there's nothing wrong with this camera. It's fine. It's not the best for YouTube, and because I really want to focus on YouTube now, I feel like it's time to get a better camera. This is also a camera that I'm looking to create videos for Instagram with, and also hopefully get some better shots. It's an actual proper Canon camera, so I am investing a little bit more money, and I think it's really important to always invest in yourself so that your quality is better and it grows. I think it's really easy that I could just stick with the same old setup, and that's fine, but you always want to be up in your game, guys. You always want to try and be the best you can be. If you see something and you think that that is going to be amazing for you, and that's really going to take you to the next level, then go for it. I definitely follow other people on Instagram who I think have got just a most amazing quality, and they probably have a team and a production behind them, but at least if I get halfway towards that level of quality, it's kind of good. Keep on focusing on that, okay? Tip number 5. So guys, this is tip number 5, and it is the last tip, and it is be creative and be yourself. So I think sometimes it's quite hard, you just get overwhelmed, and you have to make sure that, you know, Instagram is a really visual place. It started off a place just to be posting photos, and then it had 15 seconds, who remembers that, video, and now that has expanded to a whole minute, and who knows, maybe in the future it might even be 5 minutes. You don't know, who knows? So I think it's really important to always be as creative as possible. It is a very visual platform, and I think that's amazing for makeup artists or artists like myself who want to really express. So try and be as creative as possible whatever you're doing, even if it's just a travel vlog or a blog, or if you're into fitness, be creative with your posts, you know, maybe make them look as organic as possible, engaging, and really fun. Another thing I would say also is to always be yourself. Remember, you're putting yourself out there, and you are the face of your brand. And I think there's nothing worse than trying to be someone else or trying to put a fake facade on. We always put our best self forward on our Instagram, and no lie, guys, if you saw my Instagram, you're like, oh, but most of the time I'm in my pajamas at home filming and editing, so just like this, I've got my pajamas on below. It's just that you don't see that. You know, we kind of put our best self forward when it comes to Instagram or social media, but remember that it's also okay just to show your real side and just be yourself. Try not to get too caught up in there. I think sometimes you can be sucked in and then you lose track of what you're actually all about. Personally, I feel like if I was going to sum up my Instagram account, it'd probably be more creative, fun, engaging, and just a really happy place where people can just come and just escape their day and be like, oh, that's really cool, and maybe even learn something brand new. I love trying out new products and innovations and just really having fun testing out what is brand new on the beauty market. So there we have it, guys. Those are my 5 top tips of how to grow your Instagram account really fast. I hope that you found this helpful. If you have any more questions, please do let me know. Just comment down below. Make sure you press that big red subscribe button, and there's also a little bell next to it. If you press that, then it means you get a notification every time I post a brand new video. Let me know if you are interested in this type of video. It's my first time kind of giving tips. So if you want to know more about setup or tips or growing on social media or anything like that, like I said, I'm still really small, but I'm happy to share everything that I have to give. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video and have an amazing time, guys. I will see you soon. Bye. And I wanted to give 5 top tips of what I think is crucial on how to grow on Instagram, how to grow on Instagram, how to grow on Instagram